Hello, we are Pardo Martinez from the Teacher Training Course. This is instance of assessment number 3 from English Grammar 2, and in this presentation we are going to talk about stative progressives. Our goal is to show the students the following concept. Stative verbs do not normally occur in progressive aspect forms, and explain them when they can occur. But first, we need to explain what stative verbs and progressive aspect are. Stative verbs are verbs that express states or situations rather than actions. Their meaning is related to cognitive, emotional, and physical states. The progressive aspect's purpose is to express ongoing actions. It's formed with the auxiliary verb be plus the verb in the ing form, and it can be in the present, past, or future form. So, when we see a word with the suffix ing, we probably have a case of progressive aspect. But first, we have to check if it is preceded by the auxiliary verb be. Our corpus was built by ourselves, extracting some examples from the theory, and also writing our own sentences. In addition, these sentences were checked by a 24-year-old native speaker of English. As I have already said, we are going to explain when stative verbs can occur in the progressive aspect. This is related to meaning, and in this particular presentation, we are going to expose 5 meanings. 1. Given statements, more emotional strength and intensity. 2. Focusing on behavior as a change from the norm. 3. Focusing on evolving change. 4. Providing an informal, polite tone. 5. Hedging or softening a definitive opinion.
Now we are going to explain the first meaning. Look at the following sentences and compare them with their present simple version. It's not the same to say you let me down than saying you are letting me down. The progressive aspect gives the statement more emotional strength and intensity. Focusing on behavior as a change from the norm is the second meaning. This use expresses that the behavior of the subject is not the common. This behavior can be strengthened by using adverbs of time such as today, like in number 4. If we use present simple instead of stative progressives, the verb will show a situation that is always the same. For example, if we change number 4 and we say the river smells bad, probably it's something usual. When the sentence is in the progressive form, there is a particular reason that results in this situation. The third meaning is related to processes, focusing on evolving change. With the use of stative cognitive verbs, like in 1 understanding and in 2 believing, and stative appearance verbs like in 3 looking and in 4 sounding, the speaker wants to express the idea of evolving process. We can notice there is a process because there is a change of the intensity from the beginning up to the end. For example, in example number 3, we know that the beginning of the process may be he looks bad, but as the time goes by and he's not improving his aspect, we can say he's looking worse and worse by the minute. Apart from the suffix ing, this process can be shown with the degree expressions worse and worse, less and less, and so on. The fourth meaning is providing an informal, polite tone. In order to express requests or wishes, this use shows a more informal, polite tone than simple present. It's not the same to say, we hope you can explain this mess, than saying, we are hoping you can explain this mess. Using the ing form makes the statement more polite. The last meaning we are going to explain in this presentation is hedging or softening a definitive opinion. With this use, the speaker softens his or her opinions by being more polite. While in the use we have already explained, providing an informal, polite tone, the speaker asks the subject to do something in a polite way, in the use we are explaining now, the speaker has a definitive opinion but says it in a soft way. If you want to say, I think you are wrong, but you don't want to sound rude, you can say, I'm kind of thinking you are wrong. The connections we thought about are two. The first one is that if we were teachers, we would teach our students stative progressives in an implicit way as our teachers did with us. We would give them sets of sentences as the ones in this PowerPoint and let them think about this use. They should reach to a conclusion and then we would all check with theory. The second is about error analysis from Saville-Troik. If someday we teach this use and the students don't get it quickly, we won't punish them for their errors. We will take into account this wonderful quote: "Errors are windows into the language learner's mind."
I've learned that sometimes it's not enough to read theory, but we need to reinforce it by paying attention to the way native speakers talk or express themselves. English learners can do so by watching series, listening to music, or talking to native speakers.
I think that it was difficult to make this presentation in the format of a video. However, I like this activity. I've learned loads of uses of the ing form apart from using it to speak about situations happening at a specific moment.